What is going on, everybody? It has been a hot minute. I'm not gonna really say a hot minute, but we do these monthly now. Normally, y'all have to go 1 month before we do this show, but after last month, we said we was gonna start doing this show monthly because y'all wanted more of the show. So I'm very thankful to be bringing y'all another wonderful edition of Art to Heart. I am your host, LJ Bowens. You know me for doing a lot of stuff: poetry, Comic-Con stuff, doing some bones, all that good stuff. But I'm your host for this wonderful show. So if this is your first time tuning in, thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your 18th millionth time tuning in, thank you for coming back and constantly coming back and getting this content, because we try to do our best to give you guys great content and great conversation with all the artists that we bring on this show. So if you're not familiar with Art to Heart, let me give you a quick story real quick. So if you guys remember, during the whole kickoff of the pandemic, we did a show called Art Meets Life, which is a poetry show that we do here in Fayetteville, where we do an open mic, and then we do like a Q&A with our features before they do their performance. So what I decided to do during that time of the pandemic was to do a kind of spinoff show from that and do something known as Art to Heart, where we're taking artists of all mediums, whether they're poets, musicians, dancers, comedians, singers, whatever you can think of that deals with art. We wanted to sit back and interview those artists, and we've been blessed to do such a thing. And the fact that you guys decided to have us say, you know what, why don't y'all try to do a second season and bring us more artists of different mediums? We've been doing that, so I'm very thankful. So a couple of housekeeping rules before we get this started. Number one, make sure you're letting your people know what is going on. Feel free to share the links. Share the links to everybody. We want you to share the links. We want you to bring everybody in here. Number two, and I'm going to put this on the screen so that way you guys know, feel free to ask questions to our guests in the comments. We will bring the questions up on the screen. I can talk all day. I can ask a lot of questions, but you, the audience, I want you guys to ask questions to our feature. Now, I say that to say this also. Make sure your questions are very tasteful and respectful. Please do not ask our features any random crazy questions. Don't be disrespectful. We don't want that. If I see the question pop up in my comment box, I'm not going to post it on the screen, because at the end of the day, this show is wholesome. We love having fun on this show, but we are also respectable to who? The artists, and also the people that are watching this event. So thank you guys so much for being awesome people. So with that being said, I think that it's time to get this event started, because you guys have been waiting so patiently, and I'm so thankful for you guys waiting to do all this wonderful good stuff. So let me give you guys a quick introduction of who we're interviewing tonight and our feature. So I can go through the whole spiel of all the accolades, but we're going to get into that with all the questions. But I have to tell you a awesome story of how I met this wonderful feature of ours. So there was an event going on in New Bern, North Carolina, that was put on by an artist there. The reason I went to that show was because of my good friend who recently passed away back in April, Cartier Jesus. If you guys know him, you know how dope he was as far as in the North Carolina community and abroad. So he told me about this event that he was featuring in and asked me if I could come be a part of it and do some poems. And I was definitely down for it to do some art. And then lo and behold, I walk into the show, and I think I got told at the time, like, yo, guess who's going to be hosting the event? And I was like, yo, who's hosting it? And they was like, Goldie. And I was like, okay, Goldie who? Because a lot of people go by the name Goldie. Like, you don't know who they may be talking about. It could be Goldie from like 2 blocks up the road. Like, you don't know. So when they was like Goldie from Flava of Love, I was like, yo, for real? That's like crazy. So she comes in, gets on the stage, and like literally kills it. Like the hosting, the comedic timing, everything. And from there, just talking with her, talking to my wife, and just getting to know the side of her that does not deal with what you see on TV is like one of the beautiful things in the world, because this person has a beautiful spirit. And we'll get into all that. I just want to give y'all a quick story how I know her, and I'm thankful to be bringing her on. So without further ado, coming all the way to you guys from Texas, please put your hands together for one and only Goldie.
What's up? Look, I'm like, oh, you can see this. Let me move this.
Oh, man. Oh, man. How are you doing tonight, Miss Goldie?
I'm blessed. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Not a problem. I'm just making sure everything's okay because I know your audio is kind of going in and out a little bit. So I just want to make sure everything is good. So if I like repeat myself, it's probably because I'm just catching up to what you're saying.
Okay, you're good.
Okay, got you. So what I like to do with all of our featured artists is I like to ask icebreaker questions before we start getting into real questions and getting to know, the artists and everything. So are you ready?
Yes, I'm absolutely.
Cool. So that wasn't the first question. So I just want to let you know that right now. I'm clearing that up. That wasn't the first question. So
right. No one cares.
no one cares. No one cares. No one cares about you. No, I'm playing. So first question. What is your favorite word and why?
Ooh, probably plethora. Because I'm telling you, like I learned this word when I was really young. And just like when you whip it out, people go, ooh. Like even if they don't say it, they think like, ooh, she's smart. She's intelligent. She said the word plethora. So like I love to like throw it out randomly.
Nice. I like that. So that leads to the next thing. What's your least favorite word and why?
Probably ugly. Like I don't like somebody ugly. I don't like when people call people ugly. Like it's so many other things you can say. You can say facially challenged. You could say she looked just like her daddy. You could say this not her best day. She not the cutest, but you ain't gotta call nobody ugly. So anyway, that's my least favorite word.
Got you. So your next question. You seem like a person that may have seen a lot of great movies in your lifetime thus far. So with that being said, what would you consider one of your favorite movies? And as a bonus question, what role do you wish you could have played in that movie?
Ooh. Okay, probably like I love movies, so it's a lot of movies that I love. Probably one of the ones that jumps out is Coming to America. Yeah, like and I think I would have loved to like I don't know, probably play Lisa McDowell's sister. Cause I feel like her character was so funny the whole movie, and just like I don't know, I just love that movie.
You know what? Oh, hold on 1 second. There we go. I think I hit the wrong button because I got hyped for a minute. Bringing her back on. No, you good. I hit the wrong button. I knocked you off for a second. That was my fault. I got hyped because I'm about to ask you a question. So do you feel, and this ain't got nothing to do with the icebreaker question, it's just a random question. So do you feel with the Come to America sequel that there's certain characters they should have brought back like her, or do you think it was good that they kind of left her off? Because they did bring back the dad and he moved there, but
you know what? I mean, the second one was cool. It was cool that they brought it back. I feel like they waited too long to bring it back. You know, and I feel like, I don't know, just me, I think like the main character, I kind of just wanted him to be played by DC Young Fly. Because I just felt like that would have been like the perfect jump off role for him. But all in all, yeah, I definitely wish they had brought Lisa's sister back because I think she would have just kind of gave you that But then old boy's mom, who was played by Leslie Jones, like she kind of gave me that same energy. So I mean, it worked out.
Got you. So yeah, that had nothing to do with the icebreaker question. So now I'm gonna get back to it.
You know what? But it's funny because that's a common like thing that people like comedians talk about now. They be like, what you think of the second one? Like how'd you feel? Like, was it cool? And on my show, I asked this guy like what he thought about the second one, and he was like, man, I thought it was amazing because I want to work with Eddie Murphy one day.
Of course, gonna say, yeah, exactly. So
right. Watch your mouth.
Exactly. So, aside from you, everybody knows what shows you've been on, and another profession that you got that we're going to talk about. But other than your two professions that we know of, what other profession other than your own would you like to attempt and why?
I I would love to like be a pilot. Like I would, like not for real, not really, not even. I'm just saying, like if somebody gave me an opportunity and they was like, "We're gonna let you fly a plane," I would be like, "Okay, that's cute," because it's like when you the pilot and you whatever you say, people hanging on your every word when they on the plane, and I would just mess with people just because that's me. I'd be like, "Hey, dog, you better start praying right now, cause I don't think we gonna make it."
Like I'm trying.
Like, hey y'all, hey, I'm a little bit sleepy today. It ain't looking good.
Wow. I'm trying not to like laugh like what you saying is. I'm trying to like keep it together. But your answer, you going in right now.
Of course, full disclosure, I'd be like, all right, you guys, I'm just playing. It was a joke. Ha ha.
Yeah, exactly. They gonna be getting the call. So, but I got you. So, last question for the icebreaker questions. Everybody has their belief system, and whether it be they believe in God, they believe in Allah, the Most High, or they believe in science. It is what it is as far as when it comes to people's religions and their beliefs. So, with that being said, what would you like the higher power that you believe in say to you once you are done on this plane and you transition to the next?
Man, come on, man. Come on. You good? Come on. You straight. I got you. You come on with me. You with me.
Oh, wow. Oh, man.
Hey, your mama knew over there. They've been waiting on you.
Oh, yeah. Because they there already.
If you was going to make it, but you good.
So, yeah, they already co-signed. So, yeah, you're right. So, you good. So, you already got it. So, you already know the co-sign was there. Everything was everything. So, we here. So, that was an icebreaker question. So, we got through those. So, now is the fun part. So, for everybody that was watching, once again, please feel free to ask questions to our guests. Like I said, I can do this all day. If you guys don't want to ask no questions, that's perfectly fine. But I always open it up for you, the audience, to ask our artists questions, because you may have questions that I'm not thinking of. That is a good question. There's no dumb questions, only disrespectful ones that we won't put on the show. So that's all I'm gonna leave it at that. So with that being said, Goldie, aka Courtney Jackson, aka Goldie. Let's get to it. Tell us where you're originally from.
So, born and raised in Rayford, North Carolina, the big
shout out to Rockfish. I'm sorry.
Bucktown, whole world. I don't know why we get so hyped. Like Rayford is huge. We act like it's boroughs and sides. No, it's just Rayford. It's just Rayford. But yeah, real small town for those of you who are not familiar, because it's right beside Fayetteville. And that went to Hope County High School. However, though, my grandma lived in Eastover. So I was always back and forth in Fayetteville. Went to elementary school in Eastover for a little bit. So yeah, I like to say, because when you there, you say like Rayford because people know. But then when you go like other places, you be like, I'm Fayetteville. I'm a Fayetteville now because nobody's heard of Rayford.
It's funny you mentioned that. It wasn't so like for me, like the crazy thing about that is like when I was always telling people like as an artist what area I'm in, I was like, yeah, I'm in Fayetteville, but like we stay in Rockfish. So like if you know Rayford, like there's a street called Rockfish, and it's like sitting in the town of Rockfish, but it's literally just a street, and then that's it. It turns into Rayford. So It wasn't until for me, like I did something for the North Carolina, the State Arts Council, and then they actually put Rayford on there. So I started laughing because I was like, "Hi, everybody knows Rayford now! Yay, we make it!" So here's a good question then, because it seems like just by the bubbly spirit you have, you just always been like a humorous person. So I guess coming up before we even get to the whole story of how everything came to be, like, how was it like growing up as far as like being around family and just seeming like you were probably like the goofy kid that will always like laugh at their own jokes? So what was that like?
So I'm glad you used that word, like goofy, because that's what people used to call me when I was growing up. You know what I mean? Because always kind of like to lighten the moment. I like to make people laugh. Just being silly. I was always silly, but I'll give y'all some real insight behind why, I guess, how I developed into like this funny, silly person. Because when I was 14, my mom passed away. And my grandmother used to introduce me all the time. She would be like, this is my granddaughter, you know, the one who mama died. And I would just be like, oh, Lord, here she go again. Like, I hated that she did that. Like, but, you know, I couldn't say nothing. That was my grandma. I can't check grandma. But, you know, so for me, I developed just kind of being funny because I didn't want people to see me as like, oh, she lost her mom. So I would always come with the jokes or with the hype energy because, you know, when people saw me, I wanted them to be like, oh, there go Courtney, like, oh, she lit, she gonna come with the funny, because that was my way of deflecting the other energy that I just kind of had been used to getting coming up. So yeah.
So that brings up so I never knew that, and that's actually interesting. So with the fact of you saying that you grew up being grew up making that character being goofy and funny, I'm pretty sure there was movies or shows you saw that you kind of drew little inspiration from in order to get you to develop more who you were. So what were those like inspirations?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely Martin. Martin is like the first show, major show of my life. Like I remember me and my dad used to bump heads about Martin because he did not think Martin was funny. I was like, who you tripping? I'm watching this. Like we don't watch the news. We don't watch Wheel of Fortune. We don't watch Jeopardy. I'm getting ready to watch Martin. Like so yeah, that one, Living Single was big because black woman growing up, you know, I got to see these strong black female presences on television, and I was like, wow, like I want to do that, you know what I mean? Like they were dope. But it was a lot of stuff. I mean, I really just enjoyed like any type of you know, like comedy shows or whatever. I'm trying, like even like I said, like my dad, he used to watch the Three Stooges, and even though like I can't necessarily say that I gained like traits from them, but I could appreciate the type of comedy that they did. It was silly, it was funny, it was slapstick. So you know, I'm just kind of like a fan of the genre all around.
Okay, so with that being said, all of those inspirations, all those things that made you the person that who you are. So then you start, of course, school, you know, elementary, middle school, high school. Were there, and this is an interesting question because like everybody has a weird story. So with all the stuff that you went through, did you do any like drama or any of the arts while in school, or was it something that never came across until like later?
So what's funny is I did, like I always wanted to do like the drama club or whatever, but that wasn't big in my school. At Hope High, that wasn't nothing that like a lot of people did. I think they might have had like a little small handful of people that did it. And because I was in band, and the drama club met in the same building that band did. And so one day, me and my homeboy, we was like, I want to see what they doing in there. I want to see what's going on in their room. And so we walked over there and looked, and I'm just kind of like, you know, bright-eyed, like, ooh, what they doing? And he was like, man, come on, man. We about to get in trouble. We gonna miss class. Come on, you tripping. And just him kind of, you know, being like, you don't want to do that. Come on. Kind of, you know, took me away from doing it at that point in high school. Because, you know, I guess maybe it seemed a little lame to me at the time. So I was like, eh. Then when I got to college, I auditioned for a play that I ended up getting, and then they didn't even do the play, but I still just kind of always wanted to find those avenues to get into, you know, performing and acting and stuff like that. So yeah.
All right, nice. So college. So with the college life, so what year when you were in college when you actually got into it?
So I started college in '98, and I think maybe my junior year, sophomore, junior year, or whatever. I kind of started trying to figure out like, what are they doing? Who's acting? What's going on? You know. But yeah, around that time, but I still really didn't take it seriously. Until I didn't take any of it like really serious until after I moved to LA. Because in college, I went to school for pre-med. I was pre-med at UNC. And because of course, you can't come home and say, "Oh, I'm a major in drama." Not when you from Rayford. I didn't. I won't get ready to tell my daddy that I was majoring in drama in literature art. No, you better go to school for something that's gonna make you some money. So I was doing like pre-med, and I ended up graduating with a degree in psychology at that time.
Nice. That actually works out. It's like everything you do, but it actually works out.
Yeah.
So then I guess the question would come up then with like you said, you graduated with a degree in psychology, but you were in LA when you got the degree, or was it you got the degree then you moved to LA?
I got that degree. I graduated at 21 or whatever, and I didn't move to LA until I was 25. So I just kind of worked in the medical field for those couple of years and just was kind of chilling. But I actually at 18, I actually wanted to move to LA. I just didn't feel supported. Like that was gonna be a supported thing. I just was like, nah, it ain't for me. I can't do it. And then by the time I hit 25, I was like, man, it's now or never. I gotta do it. I gotta go. Like, let me just at least try it. Because my mentality was, if it doesn't work, I can just come back home. Like, I mean, I give it a shot if it don't work. And it just so happened that 2 months after I got to LA, I got the show Flava of Love.
So let's get into that this, because like moving to LA and like everybody has the dreams of course going to LA or going to the big city in order to become a star. I mean, they always tell you that. So how did you even fall into that? So like, was it you were just walking, you was in LA for the 2 months and then like so it just popped up like a flyer, somebody threw it, is it a mailbox or you heard about it on the radio? Like
originally the audition was on Craigslist. And so back
really?
Yeah. And so back then, that's how, because I didn't have an agent at the time. I was doing like background work and I was getting my auditions off of Craigslist because they was posting stuff every day. And I saw it, but I was like, man, I'm not doing that. I just ignored it. And then I ended up getting a video shoot for this artist called Papa Roo out of Houston, Texas. And so anyway, I think I played a prostitute in the video. And this other girl who played a crackhead, me and her ended up getting cool on the set because I didn't know anybody. I had friends out there at the time. And so anyway, so me and her got cool, and maybe a week or two later, she called me and was like, "Ooh, girl, have you seen that audition for that Flava Flav show?" And I was like, yeah, I saw that mess. I'm not doing that, And then she was like, "Man, please come with me. I don't want to go by myself." So I was like, well, all right, I ain't doing nothing else. I go. So I ended up riding with her to the audition, and I got it, and she didn't. And well, as they say, the rest is history.
It's crazy because like so it's a quick story. So it's funny because like I never even paid attention to the show like that. And the only reason I found out was, and I've told this story before in a post on Facebook. Me and my friends ended up going to Myrtle Beach bike week for Myrtle Beach. Uh-huh. And then we went to, at the time it was a club there called Club Kryptonite that was at Broadway at the beach. And we ended up going there, and there was some girls chilling in like I guess the VIP area. And I got a chance to like talk to one of them, got cool, took a picture because at that time during bike week, everybody just took pictures with any random person. And then my friend got mad, and I thought he was mad because it just taking a picture of the girl that he wanted to like. And he was like, "Man, I hate you." And I was like, "Why?" He was like, "Oh, you don't know who that was?" And I was like, "Nah." I was like, "Was she somebody important?" And then he was like, "It was serious." So, and I didn't realize that. I was like, "Who was serious?" And then he showed me who it was. I was like, "Oh, okay." So then that's when I found out about the show and everything.
Oh, you didn't know about the show before?
I did because at the time I was in the military, and I was like, I barely sit home and watch do TV because I was like always doing stuff in the military at the time. But it was just funny because like, okay, I don't know who this is, and he get mad. But I digress. So you get on Flavor of Love, and I don't know how much you can say or can't say about the show. So I'll try to ask my questions as best as I can, because I know how NDAs work. So when it came to this, say again.
I said, no, we're good.
Okay, cool. Okay, so when it came to the show, like, you get on this set, and then you see all these other women with aspirations of being. I gotta do an aspirations of being with Flav. But what was it like being, I guess, on that set with so many other people? Because I know the saying is, like, if you put a woman in the room with a whole bunch of other women, then everything's gonna start going haywire. Even though I know it's a set, but it can happen. Like, what was that environment like?
But it's funny because on that particular show, I think we were all so new to, like, you know, TV and Hollywood and everything, that, you know, it wasn't like a thing like, she's gonna steal my time, or ooh, I have a vendetta against her. Like, it was just, everybody was cool, really. Like, we all just kind of came on there like, whoa, what is this? Like, excited, didn't know what to expect. And, you know, we kind of understood the premise of the show, but we still just didn't know what to expect. So really, it was like everybody got along, and then there was New York. So, you know, it was kind of like she wasn't necessarily like a villain per se, but she just was a person that didn't care about, you know, having fun with us, out with us. She was just always like off to herself. So, you know, we all kind of just was like, we was about trying to have fun in this mansion and eat this free food and drink this free liquor, and just had a time of our life. So that was really what it was.
Yeah, especially because you never know. Because I guess with reality TV, in a sense, you never know what's going to happen, and then some people try to make that as the gateway to go into other things. Yeah. So you don't know when you ever get that chance. So what was it like? This is gonna sound bad, but what was it like almost making it? Like, I mean, that's the best way I can ask. So almost making it, like, because it's still an achievement. Like, I'm not gonna downplay it.
I'm giving you air quotes, making it.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean almost making it to the end of the show.
So really, okay, for me, I'm gonna just speak for myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you knew that you were, you know, getting paid, and you knew that every day you stayed, you were getting paid more and more and more. So for me, you know, like I said, I was having a great time, but for me, it became a thing of strategizing. How can I stay on here longer to make the most money? Because, you know, ultimately the person who won made the most money because they won. But, you know, I was like, look, hey, I didn't have a job at the time. I didn't have nothing better going on. So I was like, we getting ready to work this, the wheels fall off. Yeah.
Nice. So you know what? That's crazy that you said that, because, like, it's like, you never know. Like I say, I know when you're going through the process, it's, you want to try to make it to the end, and then when you leave. But the fact that, for the financial standpoint, you knew that if you stayed longer, you'd get more money. So I don't think most people would know that. But yet again, I don't know if most people from what in the position you were in, the other ladies who were there, were probably thinking like you were thinking.
Yeah, because I remember New York making a statement about, like, you know, us being able to parlay this into other things. And I really wasn't going past the show. I was just trying to get the biggest check attached to the show that I could. But then it was like, she kind of like when she threw that out, I was like, yeah, maybe this is a parlayable situation. Okay. You know, and then of course, as soon as we got on the show, you started seeing different girls doing different things. Mm-hmm. I was in the comedy realm. I was doing comedy prior to being on the show. And so that was already just a thing. Like, I just had to wait until they said we were cleared to talk about it. So that was all for me. But then, like I know Hoops was doing some big stuff like with promoters and getting paid to do appearances. And I was like, oh, they pay you just to show up? Really? Wow. Okay. And so, we were just all kind of trying to peep game from each other about what was possible after something like that. We knew that we were famous, kind of, you know what I mean? People recognized us, and that was dope. But then it was like, okay, so what do we do with that? Like, how do we make that something? So yeah, it was early in the game of reality TV, and you didn't really have a book to go by, so we kind of had to just try to navigate and figure it out ourselves.
So you bring up two good points. So we're gonna start with the stand-ups, because I believe, and then like I said, by all means correct me. So after the show, like I said, you got your checks, you were good. So you went back to stand-up, or did you like take a break from that before the next call came? And I'm gonna get to the next call in a minute. I don't want you to give it away yet. So
right, okay. So basically, I was doing stand-up the same week I got to LA. Like week 1, I was doing stand-up because it was something that was kind of in me. I was just waiting to be in the right place to do it. And so when I got to LA, it was like, ooh, I'm looking for a job. Ooh, there's the Comedy Store. Oh man, how can I get on stage? Boom, signed the paper, got on stage. It was just like that. So then 2 months later, I went on Flava of Love, and I was there for 3 weeks and some change. And as soon as I got back home, it was back to hitting the stages again. So that's how that timeline went.
Okay, got you. So once you got back, so they did all the filming first before you went back, correct? Before they started showing the episodes like week by week by week.
Yeah. What's funny though is when you when you get eliminated from the show, you actually leave right then. Like if they say, hey, Flav was like, Goldie, I don't really think you here for me. And so you leave. So like before every elimination, you have to have your bags packed just in case you're the one that has to leave.
That's stressful. Yeah. Even though you know what you're there for, that's still stressful though.
Stressful because you never know if this is gonna be the elimination that's gonna send you back home. And so when we would leave, and then you would write your real name and your phone number on the mirror in lipstick for the other girls when they went back to the room, so people could keep in contact with you. And so that's how. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you let us in on trade secrets, like, so that's actually dope though, because I think like you said earlier, like the fact that y'all was just trying to have fun and still stay connected, the fact that that was a way to do it, that's awesome. But the fact of you saying that y'all had to literally have y'all suitcases packed in case of elimination, that almost sounds like for the time y'all was there, y'all was leaving out your suitcase. It sounds like that.
Yeah, we were, because every other, I guess it was every other night we had an elimination, not including the weekends. So you was living out your suitcase. Yeah.
That's crazy. So
right. It's like a nail biter. Every elimination, you really legit didn't know if you was gonna get a clock or not.
Wow. So that brings up the next question. So when you got eliminated, which you got eliminated, but the show was going while you got back on the circuit, so nobody knows what's happening at this time.
Neither could I say anything. Like once I came back from the show and was still doing comedy, I couldn't say anything about doing a reality show with Flava Flav or being in this house. I couldn't talk about that at all. Nobody knew. And I was scared. I didn't want to get in trouble or nothing. So I was just like, nope.
Oh, no. I get that. The question I was going to ask was so while you're back into your groove of things, and then the show premieres, and then even though you're doing a stand-up comedy, people are now seeing that you were on the show. How did, I guess, that affect people wanted to reach out to you and book you or anything of that nature?
Well, so I'll say this. It didn't really affect booking me at all. Nobody was really trying to, get me or you know, call me to do stuff at that particular time. What it was is just an instant, like, people know you everywhere, which is so weird. It's so, I can't explain it to you. Like, for instance, I went to work this one particular day. I was working in Pasadena, and I went to a Sephora after work, and I'm walking around looking at stuff, and I like picked up this perfume, and I asked this girl, like, oh, have you smelled this before? I was like, this is like, is this nice or whatever? And she was just like, I mean, I don't know, like acting stank. And she was like, I mean, I don't know. And then she did a double take and looked at me. She said, oh my God, it's you, it's Goldie. Oh my God. And yo, like, that's a feeling I cannot explain. It's crazy. It never gets old. That never gets old.
So getting your first taste of celebrityism, like I said, it never gets old, but like what is and was like getting that and still getting it, because I know you still get it to this day, by all means, which is well deserved.
I'll say this. I'll say, like, to be honest with you, it's a two-edged sword. I think on one hand, I kind of get, I think I get in my feelings sometimes, because I'm like, whoa, how is it that people know me everywhere? And I feel like I haven't been able to parlay it financially as I would have liked to. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that gets frustrating for me at times. And I think I always kind of waited for like the, you know, this super uber manager agent to come along and say, come on, Goldie, I'm going to show you how to make millions of dollars, like that. But then on the same token, I do say, you know what, this is such a blessing, because I was able and I'm still able to just make people smile, like make somebody's day, like say something, you know, cool, or take a picture with them, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's like I've helped make their day better, you know? So it's like that's so cool, and that's such a blessing that it's like it really kind of makes the other side kind of pale in comparison. It's like, man, I'm good. it's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. So with all this going on, as far as at this time, like you said, the celebrityism's kicking in. After, of course, Flavor of Love season.
I tell you how, like, sometimes though I be trying to use it.
Go ahead. Let's talk to me.
So like I was an extra, right? So I used to work on a lot of different movies, and I worked on the movie This Christmas with Chris Brown and Idris Elba. So Idris Elba recognized me when I was doing I'm just an extra, right? But he turns around and he's talking to us, and we like we can't even speak. I can't even say nothing. This Idris Elba is talking to me. It's so crazy. So anyway, I'm like, well, shoot, he recognized me. I'm Goldie. Okay. So I got my card. I put my good number. The good, you know how you got the good number. Like, you got that number that can go to voicemail, but then you got that good number that you answer all the time.
Yep.
The good number on the card, and handed it to him. It was like, call me. He never called. But I tried it. Oh,
but he recognized you though. That's the thing. He still recognized you though.
Hey, I ain't mad. Yeah.
Hey, man, you never know. You never know.
No. So I mean, you know, sometimes it's just it can work in your favor.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I mean that to say that, like, so for example, and this is full transparency too. Like, I've been put in situations where I'm able where I've been able to meet people that's doing great things, and not only meet them but be friends with them. I.e., you. Like, every time we see each other before like the move to Texas, it's just like, yo, Goldie, like, we talk for a minute, and I love that. It is only very few people that I could literally say I can find it that's doing the things, and then I not say like, hey, you know how you have friends and you try to get the free tickets. So I make sure to not do that with nobody. I make sure to support them. So it's like I understand that completely. So next question. And it's still dealing with everything dealing with celebrityism. So you do the show. People recognize you where you go, and then you get a call for another show known as Charm School. So how did that whole thing come about?
So I was working, cause back it's something you had hit on earlier, like how was it right after? My phone was not ringing. Like the producers and the directors waiting to call me were not calling. So I was kind of just chilling, doing stand up at night, but like thinking it was gonna be one way and it kind of wasn't. So I went back to work. I think at the time I was working for a doctor's office. Like I was the front desk receptionist at a doctor's office, and in Porter Ranch. And so they called, VH1 called me and asked me about doing another show. And I was like, man, nah, I'm good. I was like, my daddy already mad at me about Flava of Love. Like, I'm good. And they were like, no. This is a show about women's empowerment. And this show you're gonna be able to empower women. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, keep talking. So, the money was good. And I was like, okay, I'm with it. I'm down. And then that's how, I ended up going back and doing the Charm School or whatever and moving in the house again.
So was Charm, so I just refresh my memory, because the Charm School it wasn't just like the first, was it just the first season, or was it just a mix of seasons all in one house?
The first and second season mixed together.
Okay. So what was that like, having the new, like, people from another season?
Some people, how you got just personalities and energies, and some personalities mesh and flow good together, and some is like it's like a little tension. And I just think overall it just seemed like season 2 just came off a little more aggressive. Like we was more so like have fun with it, whatever, turn up. And then it was kind of like they was like more so like wanted to argue and get into it and stuff like that. So I mean, I don't really like drama or whatever. So it was like, okay, trying to navigate in the midst of that. But I mean, overall, it was cool. It was cool. It was definitely an experience.
Yeah, I always thought it would seem like it would almost be somewhat territorial. And what I mean by that is because, like you said, you got the one group from the first season that knows each other. But then, like I said, y'all all about making the best of the situation, having fun in the process. You get kicked out or whatever. Okay, it happens. But at least I'm having fun. As you said, the other season 2 came in aggressive and brolic. So, I mean.
Yeah, and 2, with the difference between Flava of Love and Charm School was that Flava of Love, your prize, aside from getting paid or whatever, your prize was Flav. And I don't think too many of us was invested in walking away with, being with Flav. But on Charm School, it was actually like a $10,000 walk-away prize if you won. So, the motivation was different. Like people was really trying to get their money, and it was kind of like about any means necessary thing. So the dynamics changed too.
Okay, got you. Mm-hmm. So then Charm School ends, and then what comes next?
Charm School ends. This is what I will say too about Charm School, because I wasn't on Charm School long at all. I just didn't necessarily really play my hand the best I could so early. But in leaving, but as soon as I got off, I give props to Monique, because she was the established comedian that she was, and I was on the show with her, that kind of brought the eyes to me, and that gave me that gave me the to actually get booked on the road. So that's when I really started getting called for shows and getting paid and doing, just being on the road.
Got you. That's dope. That's like so dope.
Yeah.
So yeah. So with some of the bookings you got, I know you did. I know with some of the bookings you got, of course, being extras and certain things. I know you did a show, Urban Legends, I believe, correct?
That's one of them. Yeah.
That's what I know you did one. I know you did one of the episodes. Like, what was that? So what was that experience like? Because I know it took you away from more so. Well, not take you away, but take you back to like we was talking about being the the prostitute in the video, but you was acting as a prostitute. So taking you to an extent where you're now out of the lens of being this reality TV star that everybody knows, but now you're back to acting. So like, what was that transition like for you?
Right. Well, so it was. I mean, any acting is fun for me. I studied with a lady named Leslie Kahn. A friend of mine, Jay Phillips. He's a comedian from DC, and he put me on with her. And so once I took her class, he was like, "Oh, okay, I know you serious. Okay, all right, bet. All right, I'm gonna let you." So he let me come and act on his show. And then just kind of me, getting out, auditioning, getting a lot of independent things. I did a movie called Tons of Love. With Gerald Kelly and Capone. I did just different independent stuff. Not really like a lot of like big stuff. But
it's still a job though. It's still a job.
No. It's still a job, and you still learn. Like every project, you learn something from either just about yourself or just how to like interact on a set or whatever. And so I think the movie you talking about is the horror movie I did. I think that's the horror.
Yeah, based on like 4 urban legends or something like that.
So I was never properly trained on how to die in a movie. So, but it was just me figuring like, yeah, I'm gonna make it look realistic. Yeah. Oh my God, I never got to see that clip, so I have no idea how it turned out, but it was fun.
So I'll tell you what, I'm gonna look for it once the show is done. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna send it to you.
Please send it to me. Please let me see that. Because in the scene, I'm on the phone. So it's like a group of us that go out into like the woods and like the hills or whatever in LA. And we're at like a cabin. And so it's a serial killer on the loose, and he's killing like everybody. So I'm outside, and I'm on the phone trying to get signal and talk to somebody and be like, y'all, I gotta get out of here. Oh my God, it's a killer. And then I lean up against a car, and all of a sudden an arm comes out of the window with the knife and like takes me out. I'm like, oh no. So anyway, and I had to do like the makeup and everything with the blood. It was crazy, but it was super fun.
All right, I'm definitely have to check. Like I said, I'm gonna find that scene and we'll send it to you. So yeah. So
I would say the next biggest like thing and it's really probably the thing I'm most proud of though, thus far is I did a play on the road with Billy D. Williams, Shirley Rock, Leon, Elise Neal.
You were some goats.
I mean, I'm telling you, it was so. I was the quiet person in the corner, like, oh my God, I can't believe, oh my God, there go Leon, oh shoot, there go Shirley Murdoch, there go Billy D. Williams. I was freaking out. It was, and when I tell you, I learned so much on that tour. We did our rehearsals in Houston, Texas, and then we toured the whole country. And it was just amazing. It was amazing. Like, so for every night, you know what I'm saying? You got to bring your A game. I ended up shooting a gun. Like, they let me shoot a gun to play. And I got to, I went to jail. And, it was too fun, man. I had a great time. I would listen to Keisha Cole before my scenes so I could get into their mode of being like, yeah.
I never.
Straight turn up. And when you act and you get to make choices. You get to make acting choices. Mm-hmm. So my choice was every scene I came out with a different color wig on. That was my acting choice for my character because she was hood. and she used to talk a lot, and she was, make jokes and stuff all the time. So it was really that was probably one of my favorite experiences, like from there.
That's dope. Like I said, so like, cause it's rare. I'm not gonna say it's rare, but you have to think about it. So like you think about any reality TV show this came out, from the Real World up to all the new ones that come out with the challenges, everything like that. And it's very rare you hear about, and I'm not saying that everybody from the past aren't doing good, but people that still stay active and people recognize them like they're not bad. They're well off and they're doing things that make them happy. That's the thing. And that's the beautiful thing I love about you, is that whether it's been in anything dealing with entertainment or not, you've always found something and something to keep something or in some way to keep you happy. And like, I don't think many people know, aside from you getting your bachelor's degree in psychology, you also got a master's. And a lot of people don't know about that. So like you can bring it up. You like my wife say, alphabet soup. So
I'm a Bronco. Okay.
So what was the experience? So I know I'm backtracking a little bit, but it don't matter. What was the experience? So what did it feel? So what did it feel like? Like going back to school to get the master's that you have?
Let me tell you, I was all the way super upset with this woman. Okay, let me just say this, because I went to the graduate school. Now I already have a bachelor's degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
I went to the graduate school and I told the lady that I was trying to go ahead and get my master's and go in, and she was looking at my old transcript from back in the day, and she was like, "Oh no, you're gonna have to get another bachelor's." I was like, "What?" Like, no, these grades right here, this GPA right here ain't gonna get it. Just like, what do you mean? And basically, it wasn't good enough. Like you have to. I had to remember that I skated out of school that first time. Like I made it, but just barely. So, cause I was a partier, I partied all the time. I had fun. So, anyway. They told me I had to go back. I had to get another bachelor's because I wanted to get my master's in social work. So luckily, and let me say, God just put his hand on me. He allowed me to get another bachelor in 2 years. And
Nice.
Yeah. I got my master's in 1 year. Yeah, because that's how Flava State do. They look out. Ha.
I don't know if you need to be saying that.
Hey, come over here. If you tired, your academic advisor all in your schedule. Come over here to FSU.
You can't be doing a Suge Knight for Fayetteville State.
Oh man, man, what's real? I'm telling you, but it's probably one of the best things I've ever done academically. Was to go to Flava State, because it's love. I'm gonna just say that it's love. My professors did not care that I was Goldie. Well, most of them didn't. I did have that one or two that was fans, but they was just like, no, we're gonna make sure you know your stuff. We're gonna make sure that when you get out of here, you competent to do what you say you do. And it was bomb, man. It was pretty bomb. So yeah, I graduated, and now I'm fully licensed. I'm a fully licensed LCSW, who makes people laugh at night.
Alphabet soup. Like my wife say, alphabet soup. So I understand. So I got 3 more questions to ask you. So, and it may be something you about to say that you may have not brought up. So the question would be, with everything you've done, what do you feel has been your greatest achievement thus far?
Ooh. I honestly, I can't choose. I really can't.
Name a couple. You got it. Name a couple.
He's forcing me, y'all. He's forcing me. Okay, so I think that I would say greatest accomplishment, I would say probably getting my master's degree. Yeah, probably get my master's degree. I mean, I felt awesome about making it to Hollywood and actually getting on television, being able to perform on some of the biggest stages in the country with legends, comedic legends. Like I've been on the stages with people like Talent and Lunel and Cheryl Underwood, and I mean, you know what I mean, like people that's like whoa, like being able to act and being in movies and doing background, just I just can't put my finger on one thing because it's all special.
Mhm.
It's really all special to me. But like I said, acting with being in that play, Shacking Up with Billy D and Lenny Williams and Sherman. I mean, that to me that was just amazing. Yeah. And funny story, when we were rehearsing for the play, I remember me and Lenny was like, okay, so for those of you who don't, that name is not clicking, Lenny Williams is the guy that sings "Girl, You Know I Love You," that song. So, but I knew the song, I just didn't know who he was. So me and him, we chilling in the corner, bugging out. Like the whole time we rehearsing, me and him over there, like, I don't know my lines, either. Like, we just tripping, having the best time, right? And so, I'm just thinking like he just a dude there. And so I'm telling Shirley, I'm like, yo, Shirley, this dude is hilarious. Like, yo, he should have been a comedian. He is funny. He missed his calling. So Shirley looks at me. She go, you don't know who that is. I said, nah, should I? She said, yeah, that's Lenny Williams. Like, that's he singing and she sung the song for me. And I was like, oh my God, shut up, for real. I was like, he a legend. She was like, yeah. But when I tell you that's my boy, when I tell you me and him consistently for that whole 3-month time period, laugh and joke and had the best time, yo, he was just so dope. So yeah, Shirley was too. Shout out to Shirley Murdoch. She was amazing. Yeah, she was like the mother hen to me, because at that time I was a little wild. I was a little turned, and she was kind of like the mother hen for me. Yeah.
Got you. So question number 2 out of the last 3. When you first started in your career, when you first started on this path to where you're at now, did you ever see yourself making it this far?
Yeah, just in a different way. I think I probably would have seen myself being bigger with acting and comedy and just other entertainment wise. But I think it's just important to just appreciate where you are. I try to do that. I constantly try to appreciate where I am, because I never know what my life would have been had I been a certain level. I may not be happy. I may not be enjoying it or fulfilled or happy with what I had to do to get there. So I'm cool. Yeah, I'm cool.
Dude. And last question. What is the one thing people can expect when they meet Goldie for the first time?
A big smile. a big smile and probably a compliment. I usually try to compliment people when I see them because I like compliments. Yeah.
Man. So that's all the questions I have. I think people just been enjoying the show because I've seen people comment, but then I'm also getting people texting me saying that they appreciate everything you do, and there's certain stuff you said that they did not know, especially about the money part. So I guess people are gonna be looking to try to go into reality TV. But but I digress. I mean, if it works for them. So Goldie, where can everybody find you at?
Oh, definitely. Y'all can hit me on my Instagram every Wednesday. I do an Instagram live show called Goldie Interviews, where I mostly talk to comedians, but sometimes I talk to other just really interesting people that I know. And you can find me on IG at Goldie, Goldie_98. I'm also kicking it on Facebook from time to time. And just on Facebook is Courtney Jackson. And so that's kind of my tool that I really fool with at the moment. But yeah, man, and y'all also, if you want to show some love, you can hit me on my Cash App.
Hold on, let's put that up here. Let's go ahead and put that in here. What's that Cash App?
Kojak 4 Christ.
Say that one more time.
$ Kojak for Christ. Yeah, so I appreciate love, and I mean, whether it's financial or whether it's just in person, and you give me a hug and say what's up, I appreciate it all.
You say the number 4 or just a word 4?
The number 4.
Christ. Kojak for Christ. Is that JACK or JAC? I know how people are when they take out letters.
JACK.
All right, I'm just making sure. Let me make sure I got it right. I'll post it. That it right there?
C is CO.
CO. See, that's why I want to make sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and repost that real quick.
It's fun.
You know what? Courtney Jackson. You know what? I'm thinking Kojak like bald head. That's my fault. You know, so that's my bad. You know, simple mistake. Simple mistake.
Savalas, I would want you to ask me why. Like, why did you go with Telly Savalas?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just heard Kojak for Christ. So I was like, oh, Kojak. So maybe that's our favorite show. I know. That's why people like the oldies. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to figure it all out.
Love. It's nothing but love.
So make sure y'all follow Goldie on Instagram. Definitely check out our show on Wednesdays on Instagram at Goldie. That's GOLDIE_98. Goldie, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Like, I appreciate it tremendously. I know that you got a lot of stuff probably in the works, and by all means, keep it to yourself unless you want to tell us a little bit about stuff. If not, I'm perfectly fine with that too. We do.
Yeah, just we marinating over here. We marinating. You know, I moved to Dallas, Texas about a month ago, so it's we just broadening our horizon.
There you go. Well, other than that, guys, we love y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to this Art Meets Life August edition. September, we'll let y'all know who that'll be coming up soon. But until then, if you are watching on Facebook, you can always hit the replay button on the LJ Poetry, the LJ Bowlins page. And if you are on Instagram watching this right now, somehow streaming on Instagram, I'm wondering how the hell you're doing it because we don't watch this on Instagram. But we're gonna figure it out. But as far as YouTube, we got this on YouTube, and when it's on YouTube, it's pretty much there unless they flag it for something, which they will not, because all the music is made is my own music. So y'all can't stop nothing. So with that being said,
thank you so much for having me on your show, man. This is an honor. This is an honor.
The honor is mine.
Yes. When I met, let me tell y'all, when I met this man at that event in New Bern, he blew me away. He did spoken word, and the talent. Okay, yeah.
I appreciate that.
So y'all please support everything he does, because I'm telling you, it's good fertile ground right there. It's good fertile ground. And just a shout out to Cartier's family, his wife. Love you. Oh man, I was sad to hear about him passing away. But yeah, definitely still in my heart and prayers. So yeah.
Appreciate you. You let us know when you back in the area. I ain't balling like some of these producers, but if you want to always feature rocking one of our shows, I got you. You ain't gotta say nothing but a word. I got you.
Well, I'll be home for Christmas, so yeah, let's put something together.
We'll talk. I will. I promise you, I can play us something easy. I'm fine with doing a pop-up show, so we'll make it happen. We'll talk offline. So until then, everybody, we love y'all. Peace, and always remember, purpose over popularity. Y'all take care.
All right.